Your human design profile tells you so much about how you fulfill your purpose, what you're here to share, how you're here to share it, and it is a huge part of who you are in human design. The profile lines each have some specific fears associated with them, and those fears can hold you back in your business. In today's episode, I'm going to cover some of the fears that are associated with each of the profile lines, how they might impact your business in a negative way, and also what you can do about it. Welcome to Heart-Centered Human Design, Emotional Intelligence and Conscious Business, the show for heart-centered entrepreneurs that want meaningful success and work-life balance so they can wake up every day feeling empowered, inspired, and supported by their businesses and their life. I'm your host, Vanessa Naja, human design mentor and coach, and I love using human design to help you be on purpose and fulfill your potential. If you would like a little review of all of the profile lines in more depth, please go back to season 1 and listen to the episodes between 29 and 35 that apply to you. Remember now, with your profile, these are the lines, the attributes, the qualities of your conscious and unconscious sun placements, which make the most significant part of who you are and what you are here to give to the world. However, all 26 placements in your human design chart do have a line attached to it. So you're going to have a combination. Most people have at least some of all of the different lines, and you might have a really high number of a specific line, even though it's not in your profile. So for example, I am a 5/1 profile. I also have a lot of third lines in my design. So I do relate so much to aspects of the third line, including the third line fears. So as we cover these fears, just keep in mind the profile lines that you have. These are going to be very significant, and you may also relate to some of the other fears in a pretty profound way. Starting with line 1. This is the investigator. People with line 1s in their profile really like to dig deep. They need a solid foundation in order to build, and they like to build that foundation through information, through study, through research. And in BG5, the business application of human design, we call line 1 the authority. They really have the capability to become a true authority on the subject of their choice. They need to really feel secure, and information gives them a sense of security. Now, the way that this can show up in business is that you're spending way too much time researching and feeling like you always need more information. You feel like you don't know enough. You continue to get more and more certifications, but you don't actually go out and do anything with that information because you are constantly feeling like you don't know enough and you're not ready yet. So the secret to overcoming this in business is, 1, if you have a first line in your profile, you are a deep person and you probably know way more than you give yourself credit for. And also to move while you are researching and investigating. Research and investigation is going to be a lifelong process for you. You are going to continually refine and learn more about whatever it is that you are working with. And being able to move while you're learning is an important part of your process. And you may even find that when you put out things that you have researched that you're working with, it actually helps you embody and understand it even better. And I'll give an example from my own life. I have a history of being a dance teacher, and I used to take these dance classes with my friends, and then we would practice at their house, and I would teach them how to do the dance move, which helped me embody it better. So these are just some things to keep in mind as a first line profile. You're going to continue to refine. You're always going to be studying. You're always going to learn more. Move while you are actually also doing your research and studying. Line 2, this is the hermit in human design. We like to refer to this as the natural in BG5 because line 2s are naturally gifted. They are naturally talented. They do some of the things that they are gifted at effortlessly. They don't have to put any effort in, so they don't even recognize that what they're doing is special, unique, or different, and that it doesn't come so easily to other people. They're also called the hermit because they do like to spend time alone, doing their own thing, engaging in their talents, in their gifts. And because the things that the second lines do come so naturally, so effortlessly, they often have a really hard time actually explaining what they do because they are able to do it, but they don't know how they do it. It's just a natural gift. Now, in business, this can show up as really struggling in your marketing and your copywriting because you don't know how to actually put into words what it is that you do or how you do it. So then this can create some issues with your message. A great way to solve this problem is to have a mentor, a coach, an advisor, a trusted confidant that knows you, that is able to watch and see what you do and is able to help you by providing feedback and calling out of you specifically how you do these things so that you can share them with your audience. You also want to be careful of hiding out too much because the second lines, they do like to hermit away. And it's important for you to actually bring your gifts out to the world when they are called out. The third line, I have a lot of experience with this one. I have a lot of third lines in my design. This is the experiential learner, known as the martyr in traditional human design. In BG5, we call it the pioneer. Third lines are very resilient and they are here to learn by trial and error. They're here to uncover what works by discovering what doesn't work first. And there really is no such thing as making mistakes because third lines always learn from what doesn't work and it brings them a step closer to what does work. Now, in business, the fears and issues that can show up in the third line is that fear of making mistakes, that fear of failure, which is not really a thing. Failure is just feedback. Okay, well, I expected it to work this way. It didn't. So let's try another way. Third lines are super adaptable and they're easily can just shift and try something new. And eventually they discover things that the rest of the world needs through their trial and error process. So with the third line, mindset work is really important. And to really get into that place of understanding that you do not make mistakes, you discover what doesn't work. This is part of the process. And every time you try something and it doesn't work, to be able to look at it and be like, oh, okay, that doesn't work. Let's try something else. The other thing that I see with third lines is that once that they stumble upon something that does work, they just stick to it. And because they know that it works, and then they stop trying other things. So you do want to continue to experiment. Remember that experimenting is part of your process. It's such an important part of who you are. And that's what's really going to get you to move forward and make big leaps in your business. The fourth line, these are the influencers, the networkers. They're known as the opportunist. They're known as the opportunist in traditional human design because they receive lots of opportunities through their networks, through the people that they already know. And with fourth lines, networks and relationships are so important. So many of the good, important things in life come to a fourth line through their relationships. Fourth lines are also very fixed and they can be afraid of change. So it's important to be open to change when it is time to change something. And sometimes that can even include your network. Being in the right networks is super important. And there can be this fear of you're so used to the people that you've been surrounded by, but they might be holding you back from accomplishing what you need to accomplish. So sometimes it is time to change your networks. It is time to find a group or a community that you really resonate with, that is doing similar things, that is facing similar challenges, that you can support each other and work through these things together. Having the right networks is really important. Being open and willing to change, even though you can be super fixed, also really important. So there can be, again, some mindset work here and also following your strategy and authority. Remember, strategy and authority is always such an essential part of living in alignment, and that will help you connect with the right people, with the right networks that will be so supportive of your business. Fourth lines can also be afraid of not being able to be influential in the way that they were designed to be, and that can hold them back from putting out there what they need to put out there. And of course, so much of this depends on other aspects of the chart as well and what your unique purpose is. So always coming back to strategy and authority. And even if you're afraid of doing something or putting something out there or sharing something with your network or changing, your strategy and authority will always guide you in the right direction. Moving on to line 5. I'm very familiar with this one. I have this in my profile and also have more 5 lines in my design than any other line. This is the heretic in human design, the messenger in BG5. Line 5s are visionaries. They are here to come and supply, they're here to bring out of the box solutions to people's problems, often in times of crisis. This is that heretical name comes from like they do things differently. They will bring change. They'll bring things nobody has seen before. And it can be things that people do not agree with. And the 5th line often gets a lot of projections. There can be a lot of judgment on the 5th line. People can expect things from the 5th line. The 5th lines are often seen as saviors and can often seem like people always want something from you when you have a 5th line profile. Now, the projections in the 5th line, they can go either way because people can project onto you that you have the solutions that they need. And if you have those solutions and you deliver them, that is going to be great for your reputation and great for your business. However, if you receive projections that are not correct for you, and then you try to deliver or provide the solution that those projections are seeking and you're not able to do so, your reputation will suffer. So the thing with the 5th line, they can be very magnetic and mysterious and people are drawn to them, people see them, and it can go either way. So with the 5th line, again, it's really important to do your mindset work, to know you are going to receive judgments, you're going to receive projections, people are going to likely either love or hate you, and that is not about you. The people that don't like you, the people that judge you, that those are not your people, and that judgment is not about you. People often see in you what they need to heal in themselves. So that projection field is not about you. Doing your own mindset work, your self-worth work, really stepping out as the most authentic version of you that you can possibly be is going to help bring the right projections, even though there will still be some of the wrong ones. And that's just a part of it. Now, one of the biggest things that 5th lines can face that can really hold back their business is that they don't show up in their bold authenticity. They don't show up with the solutions that they have because of that fear of judgment, and they may also hide out. They may just bring nothing to the table. They may just be playing in the background because they are so afraid of that projection field, and then nothing ever comes of their business. Mindset work, super important, strategy and authority, and really embodying the high frequency of your human design through doing your deconditioning work is absolutely essential if you have a 5th line profile and if you have a ton of 5th lines in your design. And that brings us to line 6, the role model. Line 6 is really forward-looking. They have this big picture perspective. They can see what's coming down the line, and they have an interesting life process of these 3 phases. So in that first 30 years, they operate very much like a 3rd line, and they're also going to have those associated 3rd line fears. From around age 30 to 50, they step back and they go into what is called the roof phase in human design. It's like they're sitting on the roof, looking towards the horizon, seeing what's coming. They're integrating all of the lessons from those first 30 years, the things that they have learned, so that they can then step out as the role model and really lead people through their unique visionary leadership that they have developed. Now, even before age 50, you can still be a powerful role model, and you might even experience with this 6th line profile that you might be going through all 3 phases at the same time in different areas of your life. I've heard lots of 6th lines actually talk about having this experience where even a young 6th line can be an incredible leader. When they're on the roof, I know some amazing 6th lines that are on the roof phase that are just bringing forward the most beautiful things, are such incredible leaders. And you do not need to wait for that last phase of your life to step out as a leader that you are. Now, with 6 lines, there can be a lot of perfectionism in the 6th line. They're able to see so much potential. They really want to bring that potential forward. So perfectionism can hold 6 lines back. It's important to remember that there's no such thing as perfect. You can strive for excellence, but perfection isn't really something that exists. And perfectionism can be absolutely detrimental to your business because if you're not putting out anything because it's not perfect, you're literally never going to put anything out. Nothing is ever going to be perfect. So you have to allow yourself to really strive for excellence and put out things that are good enough. Okay. Good enough is better than not putting anything out there. And you are going to continue to refine your process, the things that you're teaching, the things in your business over your lifetime. So don't be afraid to put those things out there that your strategy and authority have called you to put out there, because this is such an important part of what you're here to do. You're here to lead. You're here to help guide others into their evolution. So you have to put yourself out there. Another fear that can come up for the 6th line is that fear of not being able to be the role model or the leader that you were designed to be. Leadership and being a role model through expressing your authentic self is a huge part of your purpose. So of course there can be fears around that. And remember, doing the mindset work, doing the human design deconditioning work, stepping into the highest frequencies of your design and following your strategy and authority will help guide you in the right direction in your business and in your life. So that's it for the 6 lines and the fears that can show up in your business. If you want to dive deeper into this in your own chart, and you are so unique, you might have a 6-2 profile or a 4-6 profile and then have a whole ton of 5th lines or a whole ton of 1st lines in other parts of your design, and they're going to show up in different areas of your life. So if you want to dive deeper into that, I highly recommend either getting a reading or really going deep, really covering this in your business through my program, Emotional Intelligence by Design. You can find more info on that at vanessanaja.com/emotional intelligence. I'll also link it in the show notes, and I would love to work with you to dive deep into your business, your emotional intelligence, and really utilizing that to make the most out of your life. I would love to hear how this landed for you. If you're listening somewhere where you can comment, please let me know what lines are in your profile. What fears resonated with you? Did you learn anything new today? If you are not somewhere where you can comment, or even if you are, I would love to connect with you on Instagram at HD Vanessa Naja. I post almost daily content on there. Actually, I do post daily content on there. In my stories, I post daily. I share about the energy influence of the day for every single day of the week. And I also share valuable human design resources about life, about business, about emotional intelligence. And I'd love to connect with you there. Feel free to DM me any questions that you might have, episodes that you might want to hear in the future. I really would love to connect with you. Thank you so much for listening. I will see you in the next episode.